We can all agree that there are some things that are true, that are just true. We just know without a doubt are true. Like grass is green and the sky is blue and the sun's gonna rise in the morning, right? Like those are just things that we know are true. But sometimes when we get really hooked on the thought of something being true, we just circle it until it kills us, okay? Like just because something is true does not mean thinking about it is gonna make us feel better. So I wanna give you an example that I've had in the past. So when I first started Fire College, I had to run this 1.5 mile run. And when I was in Fire College, I was not fit. I was brand new to fitness, really. And I was not able to run 1.5 miles, and especially not in the time they allowed. And let me tell you, I had to practice running. And I had to practice running every day, and I really felt that I was not a runner. So it was really difficult for me. I was definitely a bigger girl back then. Wearing shorts meant that my body was going to move when I ran, which is just gravity moving, like normal thing. But in my head, it was an emotional disaster that my body was jiggling when I ran. So, I go into the gym and I get on that treadmill because the goal of this 1.5 mile run was so important to me. And I knew that regardless of how I felt about my body, I had to keep going on that treadmill. But if you've ever been to a very fun gym where treadmills are facing mirrors, it's a really shitty experience if I'm having bad thoughts about myself. So as I'm running, I'm looking at my body and I'm looking at my body move, jiggle, whatever. And I kept thinking to myself, when I run, my body jiggles, right? And it was a true thought. I could see it with my own eyes. Look at me in the mirror. My body is jiggling. It is true. But thinking my body is jiggling did not make me want to keep running. It made me want to get the fuck out of that gym as fast as I could, put on a pair of sweatpants and go to bed. I wanted to hide from that thought. That thought fucking sucks. But it was true, and that's the part that was torturing me. It was like I couldn't deny that it was real because it was true. So I want to talk about true versus helpful thinking. Again, I've said this 100 times. Just because something's true, it's not going to make you feel good or go towards your goal. And right now, we have goals that I want you to go towards, not away from. So instead, I want you to put a replacement thought in the space of this true thought. So for example, I'm on that treadmill and I think to myself, my body's jiggling. My legs are moving a lot when I'm running. So I'm going to hear myself thinking that and be like, no, I don't want to engage in that negative thought pattern today. I'm going to replace that thought with, I'm really proud of myself for getting on this treadmill today, even though I hate it. I'm really proud of myself for showing up today, even though I didn't want to. I'm really proud of myself today for going for a run. And that thought made me want to keep running. That thought moved me towards my goal, right? So you can kind of see and kind of understand that we sometimes get really stuck with thoughts that we've had for a long time. Like for my entire life, I've thought, when I move, my body jiggles, and I hated that thought. But it's a thought that I thought all the time. One thing I want you to understand about your brain is your brain likes to do what it does most often. I'm just going to say that again because I'm going to tell you this for everything in fitness. Your brain likes to do what it does most often. So all you need to do is create a new pattern that you do often, and it will just initiate on its own. You won't have to cognitively think about doing something differently. You're just going to start feeling proud of yourself because you keep telling yourself, I am proud of myself for coming and getting on this treadmill. And if every single day you choose to have that thought pattern, your brain will just start having that thought pattern. I promise. That is what thought work is. It is hearing yourself and saying, yes, I want to think it, or no, I don't want to think it, and replacing it with what you do want to think so that you can initiate emotions that you do want to have. Okay? So true versus helpful thinking can be for anything. And especially in these first few weeks, you're going to be doing things that are new to you, that are uncomfortable, that are going to make you feel out of your element and feel stressed and feel down and feel lots of things. Like, I want you to know that you're going to feel lots of things, and that's okay. That's part of it. It's uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So I want you to hear yourself as often as you can and find the times that you're being the meanest to yourself. And I want you to pre-prepare thoughts that are going to counteract those really mean times to yourself. So let's say when you put on gym clothes, every time you put on gym clothes, you're like, I look like a sausage. I fucking hate gym clothes. Take them off and you don't go to the gym. So perfect. That's the moment that we're going to work on, right? So instead of thinking I look like a sausage, you can say to yourself, hey, I can't wait to see what these gym clothes are going to look like at the end of this coaching. I can't wait to buy new gym clothes when I'm feeling better about myself. I love the way these gym clothes are soft on my skin. It doesn't have to be a good or bad thing. It can just be a neutral thing. Neutral thoughts are excellent when we are really, really uncomfortable and really upset, okay? So I don't have to say something positive. I have to say, like, I look good in my gym clothes, because you don't believe it. Just say, these gym clothes are really, really black. These gym clothes are really stretchy. These gym clothes are really soft. And then you stop and you say, I will not continue to engage in that negative thought pattern, and you move the fuck on. And that is the part that's really hard, and you're not going to be able to do it right away. But I want you to practice as often as you possibly can to say to your own self, no, I will not go down that path. I will not continue with that negative pattern. I will choose something different today. And this is where the power comes from, okay? It is from you gaining that confidence that you make choices that make you feel better and that make you feel like, yes, I did do that. So this one really just touches my heart. But please, realize when in your day you are struggling the most. And I want you to really make a plan for those times and practice them and practice them and practice them and practice them until your brain initiates it itself. All right, that's all I have for today. And I really hope that this was great for you guys. Bye.